Hey folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for week ending January 12th, 2022. This video is for the Peel and Durham region. I want to welcome the many new subscribers we've had over the last few months. Welcome and thanks for joining our channel. I received a call the other day, someone asking me where can they get these charts. And you know, I don't think there's anywhere else you can get these charts. I've looked in the past and I couldn't find them, and that's what's prompted me to create these charts myself. As you know, I'm a full-time realtor. Everybody on my team are full-time realtors, and we use these charts in our daily business of helping buyers and sellers. I create these charts and I create these videos for the areas of the GTA where we conduct our business. So again, to answer that question, I don't think they're available anywhere else. What I do is I go onto the MLS system, I extract the hundreds and hundreds of transactions weekly. I extract the data that I need, put it on Excel, create the formulas, and produce these charts so they're simple and easy to read, and I can get to the information I'm looking for quickly. I guess the follow-up question to that is why? Why do I create these charts? Well, we see ourselves as real estate consultants. And when I'm speaking with a buyer and seller, I need to be able to talk to them beyond feelings. I know the buyers and sellers, there's a lot of emotion in their purchase or sale of their property, a ton of emotion. Let's just put a number to it. About 5%, sometimes 10% of whatever price they're talking about is emotional. So if a buyer's looking to buy a property and it's a few doors down from where his parents live, and that's going to be great for babysitting the kids, well, that's wow, this would be like extra better purchase for them than say another buyer who just, yeah, it's a cool neighborhood. So the one that it lives next door to their parents would pay more. It's an emotional purchase. The seller who has lived in a house for 20, 30 years, their kids have grown up there, they got notches on the wall for their kids' ages. They're not looking to just give their home away. Well, nobody really is, but they've got such an emotional tie. Well, by talking to me as the real estate consultant, I have no emotion in that game. I want to talk to them about real numbers, real expectations. So when I look at these data points, plus a ton more data points that I look at and a ton more research that I do, when I sit down with the seller and say, this is the most that is expected for a buyer to pay, or when I look at a buyer, this is probably what this home is going to sell for. So, this is how the offer should be formulated. And I show them why. There's no question. They, first of all, believe me. I have the evidence and I'm confident in what I'm saying. There's no emotion in it. It's factual. That's why I look at these numbers. And frankly, I don't know how anybody could pick a price to sell a home at, or what offers should be, especially in this market where you're competing with other offers. How do you know if you're overpaying? How do you know if what makes sense on the purchase, or how do you know if you're getting a good price when you're selling? I look at the data, I look at the numbers. It makes sense to me, and it makes sense to everyone else that I deal with. If you feel this information is useful and can help somebody else please pass this video on, forward it, and let's get into the numbers. If you want to talk to us anything at all related to real estate, maybe your own personal real estate situation or needs, we've made it really simple. In the description below this video, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. This way I'll know ahead of time, and I'll make sure my schedule's organized so I'm able to talk to you about whatever's on your mind. Let's get going. I'm talking about Peel and Durham here. Here's a quick summary of Mississauga, which is the blue the orange line here, that's Brampton. You see those prices are going up. And the burgundy line here, that's Durham. For Durham, I'm using Ajax, Pickering, and Whitby as the Durham sample. Let's start off with Mississauga, detached properties. Now, keep in mind the previous 2 weeks, the holiday season, the Christmas and the New Year's and public holidays in between there. I'm not going to say there was no transactions, but the numbers there are just not reflective of a typical market. So when you see prices in December and January here that are, average at $2 million, let's not kind of look at that as saying, wow, that's the number. There was only 8 sales and 13 sales. Well, for week ending January 12th, sales went up. We sold 31 detached properties in Mississauga. As the weeks go on, we expect sales to kind of get up to a normal season. And actually, we're heading into the busiest season. Spring is normally where the most activity is through the course of the year. Now, last year, spring came early. It was March where we had a ton of activity. I'm expecting this year for that to be February. Anyways, average sold price is now $1,754,000. So we had a couple of crazy numbers here going on between Christmas and New Year's, but $1,754,000 has kind of come down. It's in the high end of where we were for over the course of the year, but at least it's come down to somewhere more respectable. Where we look at the average sold price year over year percentage change, $1,754,000 is 18% higher than last year's average sold price. I've included a new chart, median price. And here's where we compare in orange, the average sold price to the median price. Again, this is just for Mississauga detached properties. For those of you that don't know, well, average price, everybody's pretty familiar. It's all the total sales done, dollar value, divided by the amount of sales gives us an average price. Well, it gives us a certain number that we could look at and see, wow, average price has been going up. However, there's a lot of peaks and valleys in that number because we'll get outliers. If the average price is sitting around $1.7 million and there's $2, $3, $4 million properties being sold that are not normally in that type of sales, in that type of market, well, it's going to bring the average price up. Or the reverse, if a few really low ticket items, ticket properties are sold, it's going to bring the average price down. Well, median price is the middle number. So if 30 properties or 31 properties are sold, the middle number, so there's 15 properties above, 15 properties sold below, that middle number, that's the median number. It's less susceptible to the peaks and valleys because it kind of eliminates the outliers. And so we look at that data point also, and really you kind of look at both, and you can see here that median is sitting at $1,573,000 for this week ending, but as average sold price is going up, well, so is the median price going up, but with less peaks and valleys. Looking at the sales of the 31 that did sell, 87% sold at list price or more. So the market is very hot right now. We listed only 41 detached properties in Mississauga, a little bit less than last year, and months of inventory is sitting at 0.6. Ignore the 2 weeks before that. They weren't accurate numbers. It is based on the actual sales and activity that we did, but it wasn't really representing a true market over the holidays there. But 0.6 right away brings it in line with where we were before, and the average days on market is 11. Let's look at Brampton. Brampton is just going nuts. We sold 63 detached properties in Brampton last week. 10 of those were at $2 million or more. The average sold price in Brampton is sitting at $1,612,000. Average price year over year, that's 38% higher than last year's average price. Comparing it to the median price, They're pretty close actually, and you can see the median. So, well, let's look at average. Although it is going up, there's some, waves, peaks, and valleys. But look at the median price. It's going up, and it's almost a straight line. Median tends to eliminate some of those peaks and valleys. And the closer they are together, as far as the same price between median and average, it represents more of a truer sampling of the types of properties that are being sold, or the price point of those properties. But there you go. Price is definitely on the upswing there. Of the 63 that we sold, 92% sold at list price or more. I got to tell you, when it's 80%, that feels like it's almost all of them. 92%, you might as well say 100%, because really that's what's happening out there. We listed 81, and months of inventory is sitting at 0.2 months of inventory. I'm going to repeat that. Months of inventory for Brampton detached properties is 0.2 months of inventory. There's no stock available. Buyers are really tripping over themselves to buy what little inventory, what little homes are listed for sale, what few homes, I should say, are listed for sale. Days on market is sitting at 6 days on market. Ajax, Pickering, and Whippy, our Durham sample, we went from 6 sales to 29 sales. Only one of those sold at list price or more. Average sold price for the Durham area is $1,456,000. It's almost hitting a record price, but it's definitely way higher than what we've seen through the whole year. That average sold price is 25% higher than last year's average sold price. When we compare it to the median price, they're almost the same number. Almost the same number. So the sampling of sales, the sampling of homes is pretty indicative of what's out there in the market right now. And whether it's median or average, it's almost the same number. That's the price. Of the 29 that did sell, 97% sold at list price or more. Only 50 were listed. And remember, this is just for detached properties. And months of inventory is sitting at 0.3. I was going to say, can you get any lower? Well, Brampton's at 0.2, but you're really not going to feel the difference between 0.3 months of inventory and 0.2 months of inventory. Here's the summary. All the months of inventory for the different regions have come down from the previous holiday season, holiday break months of inventory. Market's very tight. It's actually on fire. These numbers don't even tell the whole story of what you experience of when you're in the field. It's so important you're working with a strong realtor to help you navigate some of the conditions that are out there right now. You're competing when you're buying. When you're selling, you've got multiple offers on your property. How do you know you're getting the most? All this with a good real estate consultant on your side. It's possible to navigate this market. Have a great day.